what it is. The Matrix is everywhere. It is all around us. Even now, in this very room. You can see it when you look out your window or when you turn on your television. You can feel it when you go to work, when you go to church, when you pay your taxes. It is the world that has been pulled over your eyes to blind you from the truth.
What truth?
That you are a slave, Neo. Like everyone else, you were born into bondage, born into a prison that you cannot smell or taste or touch. A prison for your mind. Unfortunately, no one can be told what the Matrix is. You have to see it for yourself. This is your last chance. After this, there is no turning back. You take the blue pill, the story ends. You wake up in your bed and believe whatever you want to believe. You take the red pill, you stay in Wonderland, and I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes. Remember, all I'm offering is the truth, nothing more. Follow me.
The face of America is changing because the faces of America are changing. Right now, out of a total population of 300 million, 1 in 3, that's 100 million people, belongs to a minority group. 21% of America's minorities live in just one state, California. Another 12% live in Texas. Minorities outnumber whites in 4 states. California, Texas, New Mexico, and Hawaii, plus the District of Columbia. At just over 44 million, Hispanics are the country's biggest minority. Blacks rank second at just over 40 million, followed by nearly 15 million people of Asian descent. Hispanics are also the fastest growing minority, followed by Asians. Hispanics are projected to be 1/4 of the U.S. population by the year 2050. In the same year, only half of Americans will be white, compared to 66% now. And here is one more dramatic contrast. Right now, 80% of the Americans over the age of 60 are white, but nearly half of our country's children under the age of 5 are Hispanic, black, or Asian. The changing face of America is also reflected in my first panel tonight. CNN contributor Roland Martin, Paul Reyes, an attorney and columnist, and James Edwards is a conservative talk radio host. Glad to have all three of you with us tonight.
Thank you, Paula.
Thank you for having us back, Paula.
Glad to be here.
My pleasure. So, James, I want to start with you tonight. You have said that you believe this change in the number of minorities blossoming in this country will turn us into a third world country. Why not accept the richness and the diversity that this brings to this country?
Well, first of all, because my primary interest is to protect and safeguard the interests of my own family. I believe that white Americans are in for the fight of their lives here. I think America is becoming balkanized, and we're being robbed of having a future in the very nation that our ancestors carved from a wilderness. And you got to understand,
What
Paula,
are you losing right now, James? What are you afraid of?
Well, let me tell you something. The reason why America is a first world nation is because we have a first world population, and that is changing due to these illegal alien invasions, as well as the explosive birth rates that these minorities bring with them. What we're losing is that these people aren't assimilating. The melting pot has gone from a boil to a dull simmer. These folks aren't embracing our heroes and our traditions.
Welcome back to The Ed Show. For the first time ever, most babies being born in the United States are non-white. Non-Hispanic white children under age 2 make up less than half, according to the Census Bureau and other statistics. Babies of a racial or ethnic minority, when combined, make up more than half. By the middle of this century, racial and ethnic minorities will together become the majority in America, and non-white Hispanic whites will be in the minority.
One day, this nation will rise up, live out the true meaning of its creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal.
Guy who oversees emergency planning for Lubbock.
He is going to try to hand over the sovereignty of the United States to the UN. Okay, what's going to happen when that happens? I'm thinking worst case scenario.
Right,
okay?
I understand.
Civil unrest, civil disobedience, civil war, maybe. I mean, we're not talking just a few riots here and demonstrations. We're talking Lexington, Concord, take up arms and get rid of the guy. Okay, now what's going to happen if we do that? If the public decides to do that, he's going to send in UN troops. I don't want
troops,
huh? UN with the little blue beanies,
right?
And
yeah.
Okay, I don't want them in Lubbock County. Okay, so I'm going to stand in front of their armored personnel carriers and say, "You're not coming in here." And the sheriff, I've already asked him. I said, "You going to back me?" He said, "Yeah, I'll back you." Well, I don't want a bunch of rookies back there.
True.
I want trained, equipped, seasoned veteran officers.
Head is saying he was quoted out of context, except he wasn't quoted. That was him talking there on the tape.
Do we have a deal, Mr. Reagan?
You know, I know this steak doesn't exist. I know that when I put it in my mouth, the Matrix is telling my brain that it is juicy and delicious. After 9 years, you know what I realize? Ignorance is bliss.